From the seismic political shift of the 1979 Iranian Revolution, when the Shah was overthrown and the Islamic Republic under Ayatollah Khomeini was established, severing decades-long diplomatic and economic ties with the United States, to the decades-long saga of mutual suspicion, proxy conflicts, and repeated confrontations over Iran's nuclear ambitions and regional influence, the story of U.S.-Iran relations has been one of enduring tension, strategic maneuvering, and a precarious balance between diplomacy and the threat of outright conflict. Historically, Iran's efforts to assert itself as a dominant power in the Middle East, supporting allied militias, engaging in proxy wars in Lebanon, Syria, and Iraq, and developing missile capabilities and nuclear programs, have repeatedly drawn American scrutiny, sanctions, and military pressure, while the U.S. has relied on a combination of economic leverage, military presence in the Gulf, intelligence operations, and alliances with regional powers to deter what it perceives as Iranian aggression, creating a complex chessboard where every move carries global ramifications. Fast forwarding to the present, Iran faces an unprecedented domestic crisis fueled by economic collapse, soaring inflation, rampant unemployment, and widespread civil unrest, with millions taking to the streets demanding reform, justice, and accountability, resulting in violent crackdowns, thousands of casualties, mass arrests, and a near-total internet blackout imposed by the Iranian government in an attempt to control the narrative and prevent international scrutiny, while international human rights organizations and media outlets broadcast the severity of the situation, heightening global concern. The United States, perceiving both the humanitarian crisis and Iran's regional posturing as a threat to stability and international norms, has responded with a multi-pronged approach, issuing stern warnings, imposing targeted sanctions on key officials and military leaders, deploying aircraft carriers, fighter jets, and advanced missile defense systems in strategic locations across the Persian Gulf and the Middle East, and emphasizing that while diplomatic avenues remain open, all options, including military intervention, remain on the table, heightening tensions and creating a sense of impending confrontation. Iran, however, has reacted with defiance, conducting missile tests, reinforcing military readiness, and publicly pledging that any aggressive American move will be met with swift, calculated, and potentially devastating retaliation, explicitly naming U.S. forces, regional allies, and strategic interests as potential targets, which has intensified fears of escalation and prompted urgent emergency discussions within the United Nations, NATO, and among global powers, all of whom emphasize the urgent need for restraint, dialogue, and crisis management, warning that even minor miscalculations could ignite a broader conflict with far-reaching consequences. In this tense geopolitical environment, analysts caution that a direct confrontation could destabilize the Middle East, disrupt global energy markets, jeopardize international trade, and escalate humanitarian crises, while simultaneously reshaping alliances and testing the limits of global diplomacy, making every statement, military maneuver, and strategic decision critically important, as the world observes, evaluates, and reacts to each development, beyond the immediate U.S. Iran standoff. The situation also underscores deeper issues of international law, sovereignty, human rights, and the ethics of power, with global media, social networks, and expert commentators analyzing events in real time, often dissecting complex interactions between governments, militaries, and protest movements, while attempting to distinguish verified facts from speculation or propaganda, which in itself becomes a battleground for narratives and public opinion. As the crisis unfolds, the stakes are enormous. From the survival and safety of Iranian civilians caught between state repression and civil unrest, to the security of American personnel and allies stationed across the region, to the stability of global economic and energy systems, all of which hinge on decisions made by political and military leaders in Tehran, Washington, and allied capitals. Ultimately, this is not merely a story of military might or strategic rivalry, but a profound, multi-dimensional narrative encompassing history, politics, human suffering, diplomacy, strategy, and the delicate balance of global stability, highlighting the fragility of peace in a polarized world, the consequences of unchecked power, and the human and geopolitical cost of conflict, leaving viewers to grapple with urgent questions about what the future holds, whether diplomacy can prevail, whether escalation can be contained, and what lessons the world must learn about leadership, accountability, and the pursuit of stability in an era of persistent uncertainty, making the U.S.-Iran confrontation one of the defining international crises of the modern era, with implications that extend far beyond the borders of either nation, shaping the fate of millions and the course of global history.